What is up, guys? It's Whatever here. We're going with our Draft Jam draft analysis. This is a league run by Keegan. And one thing that he wanted to do was bring down the power level and kind of normalize the Wi-Fi draft league scene, in which I'm all for, trying things out. And so we got first pick. As you can see on the screen, we got Meowscarada. If Keegan allowed it. I lied. We actually got Garchomp with our first pick. So with that, you could probably tell that the draft board was a little different. The top mon was Garchomp in like 17 points, quote unquote. A little different. There weren't the usual like Terrazarud, Terra Raging Bolt. A lot of the Terra guys were banned. Try to, like I said, keep that power level in line. Now, I definitely am like all for this. I think that's, totally fine. I think there's also another cool thing that I really like too is it's forced 10 mons, which I think is pretty cool. Allows for a more complete roster. And yeah, so like I said, we got Garchomp first pick. He's just gonna be the best guy on the board, I wish they allowed Meowscarada because Keegan's a hater on Meowscarada. I would have loved a Meowscarada too. But we got Garchomp. Totally fine. We'll take it. This guy, what Garchomp does. Rough skin, and he has, spikes, stealth rock. And then this guy is also one of the strongest attackers in the game because ground plus dragon is very strong. Also with the scale shot, Swords Dance becomes a pretty amazing set. But yeah, we could always go mixed, a little special attacker kind of thing. We can be defensive if we want to. Garchomp, all around great mon. Now, as first pick, you kind of got to wait a little bit till he gets back to you. So what I did is I went and got into Necrozma second pick. I figured another, guy who can support Rocker, knockoff, that kind of thing. Also another setup threat, Dragon Dance, Calm Mind, whatever I want to do, Photon goes either way. But yeah, Necrozma's just like an overall like amazing, like strong and like sturdy Pokemon at the same time. Very like, balanced offense, I would say. Pretty much that. And then next we have Weavile. So I needed speed, and Weavile was there. A lot of the speed in this was not available because the fact the way they trimmed the board. So like I know like even in most leagues you get the round 5 Noivern because someone's like, oh dude, my fastest Pokemon's base 100. And so we just got Weavile here. Now I've been told that Weavile isn't so bad, so we're definitely going to try him out because obviously the coverage of Ice and Dark is just really strong. Knockoffs are coming out really, really strong, especially with 120. We can throw a Choice Band on it, do all that. But yeah, so that was our second wheel. And then on the way back again, I was like, all right, well, I want to get these two Pokemon because I've always wanted to use one of them. And the other one, I've just kind of seen a lot of people do really well with, and it kind of is used as a glue piece for a lot of things. And I'm actually talking about Blastoise. Bulky Water, Rapid Spin, Flip Turn. It was between this and Swampert, and I was just like, I already have a ground type. Plus, Rapid Spin, kind of cool. So let's go ahead and get Blastoise. Yeah, he's just one that I wanted to try. But as you can tell, that's, round 4 Blastoise. Round 5, if you want to count it that way, because it's the wheel, so it's not really the worst thing. But yeah, I did down low early because I really wanted these guys. Just kind of wanted to use him. Like I said, whole thing, you could Shell Smash. I'm sure you can like a week or two. But mostly he's going to be a defensive pivot with that Flip Turn. Body Press is really cool too. But then the next guy that we got, it's actually Raikou. Raikou is something that I wanted to use because these stats are like super decent. I think like 115 isn't as strong as it once was. I think with the coverage he gets, he can do so much, and I really wanted to use him. Another pretty good speed tier too, so it's like giving me like little jumps here and there. But I really, really wanted to use him. I've been seeing him being used, and we had the option to Terra, like with a Terra budget here. And I'll reveal that Raikou is one of my Terramons. And I thought that was like perfect because it gives a little bit extra oomph to his electric moves, or we can go like a Terra, you know, fighting, and Aurasphere does a lot, or something like that, you know? It just kind of adds to what this guy can do. And then with like a Calm Mind, I think he's going to be really cool too. But yeah, so then on the way back, I kind of noticed something. I was like, wow, we have like over half our points remaining. And I don't know how, but we got Urshifu, Rapid Strike, with Terra. Like round, what, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 6, 7? Funny number. But like, that's crazy to me. This guy's so strong. 97 speed, 130 attack, just absolute nuke every time he comes in. And I think that's going to be really, really cool and really fun. With Terra, he's probably, if you go Terra Dark, it's going to be basically like he has old Wicked Blow, right? But yeah, you turn into some of my other guys. I think it's really strong. I don't know why he was still there. This guy was like, I think one of the top 3, price-wise at least, Terramons available. So the fact that we got him with Raikou, amazing. Something I really wanted to try. Plus a guy who was just there. Always go for the best. Now the thing is though, even after that, I still had a lot of points. I went with Tinkaton, another rocker, another knockoff user. As you can tell, I like hazards and I like knocking things off. So Tinkaton, another guy that's great at that. Maybe if I want to go a little bit more of an offensive Necro one week, we can kind of do it like this. It's just kind of giving me options and a little bit more versatility. So that was kind of one of the main reasons. Also, steel types are very not, you know, they're very hit or miss. You know, you don't want to be stuck with a Bronzong. But also, like, you know, the speed tier, really good. And Encore. I love Encore. Encore. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a Ogerpon. I really wanted one, but all of them went by the time we went Urshifu came around, which is probably why Urshifu was still around. But, you know, we'll take what we can get, and we'll kind of move on from there. Now, at this point, I was like, all right, well, what roles can I, like, really do? I was noticing my team was very, like, fighting weak, even though we have Necrozma. It can kind of get, you know, pushed through a little bit with some U-turn and stuff. So I went with Weezing. I originally wanted G-Weezing, but it got sniped right before. Oh, well, whatever. We'll just get this guy. He's a little bit less points, and, you know, we'll just kind of deal with it. It also gives us a Toxic Spiker, Toxic Spike Absorber, etc. But yeah, he's just gonna be here for like a physical wall, pretty much, and kind of sit there, get some status off, and kind of support the team that way. Now at this point, I believe it is the second to last pick. Yeah, we're at pick 9, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna help out with the ground resist by getting Hydrapple. Double Dragon, I don't really care. Hydrapple's just really strong because Regenerator is broken. And then also, where is it? Fickle Beam? This guy. Yeah, disgusting. What do you mean you can just have a base 160 move plus stab? Just cuz. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so just kind of a ground resist. Also can be a little bit of a lower speed. Help against the slower teams, kind of break through, you know, some of those fatter, you know, squads like Tinglus and stuff like that. But yeah, and then on my last pick, I had a lot of points, and there's nothing above 10 points left on the board. So we were left with, gosh, I want to say, what, like 18 points? Something like that? 16? Something around there. But we got Arcanine. Yeah, just because I wanted another breaker. Why not? This guy is so strong with, you know, Rockhead. Plus, you know, these strong moves like Flare Blitz, Head Smash, you know, even Wild Charge. Yeah, Intimidator if I want to be, you know, defensive. Not the best defensive typing, but, you know, specifically for things, it could work. But yeah, that's the draft analysis. A real quick one, you know. But yeah, I'm really excited for this league. I think the concept was super fire. I think if we had less points maybe to kind of force us to go down a little bit more into the tiers, that'd be my opinion. But you know, you gotta try it first, and then we'll see how the games go and all the building and all that stuff. So I will see you guys in our week 1. Peace.